I tell you what, looking through these fields here, Brad, there's some really nice horses resuming on your card today.
Yeah, good morning, Matt. Good morning to all of you viewers. You're right. It marks the official first day of the 6-week Everest Carnival for Sydney Spring, and you are right. We've got a couple of key runners there. Potentially none more key than the Everest favourite at the moment, who is Trapeze Artist. But yeah, some really good races. The track you did touch on there before, it's just into the heavy 8 range, so maybe closer there to a soft 7, but it is pretty overcast and just a light drizzly rain at the moment in Sydney, so I can't see it getting much better.
What was the weather like overnight?
We copped really bad storms, but just luckily, a lot of it skirted past Rosehill. If we were at Randwick, I imagine we'd be playing on a really, really heavy track. So fingers crossed that this rain does hold off because, as you say, there's a couple of nice horses resuming there. I can't imagine they'd want a really heavy track for their first up runs.
10 after 5 New Zealand time is the start time for the run to the Rose. What's your assessment of this year's race?
Yeah, it looks like an interesting race. Obviously, the favourite is Graf, and deservedly so, off a really dominant San Domenico win. But I'm actually in the corner of Zusane. There's a big rap or a big boom around this horse. Chris Waller's always maintained that it reminds him so much of the old man, who of course is Zoostar, and we know what he did as an early spring 3-year-old. This horse was trialled really sharply. He does handle the wet. The last time we saw him, he ran second in the JJ Atkins over the mile up at Doomben on a heavy track. So he does handle it. Where he gets to from the gate, I'm not too sure. He'll probably have to drift back and run down the middle of the track. But he's a horse I'm really looking forward to seeing. And there's been plenty of support for him already in Golden Rose markets, despite him having been sighted yet as a 3-year-old. So all eyes on Zusane, number 1 there in race 6.
How do you see the start unfolding? Zusane in barrier 7, Graf out of barrier number 11, obviously well supported. In terms of a discrepancy in margin, how far do you see them settling apart?
Yeah, it's an interesting one with Graf because what we've seen to date is a little bit of versatility. Chris Lees, the trainer of Graf, said during the week they'd love to be midfield with a trail. I guess it just depends how much this track chops out, because the last time we were at Rosehill, it did get a little bit of kickback there. So maybe coming down the middle of the track will be a bit better, and it won't be too bad to travel wide on speed. So I imagine that Chris Lees and Jason Collett will be watching with great interest those first 5 races, but I can see him cracking up in the run. If you can cover ground and still win, and that's no disadvantage, then maybe barrier or that wide gate won't be too much of a disadvantage.
Really, really good information there. Let's talk about race number 5, Trapeze Artist, lining up in a fresh state here over 1,300 metres in the Theo Marks. What has Trapeze Artist been up to publicly since his last, when he was last seen at the races?
He's had a couple of barrier trials, but it's important to note that he didn't have the blinkers on. And he's one of these horses that does find a couple of lengths and looks a great deal sharper once the shades go on. So don't be too critical if you're just watching the trials. I guess here, the query, not only the heavy track, he does seem to get through it, but only just, is the 61 kilos. So given he's already a 3-time Group 1 winner, he does carry a bit of a penalty here. Gerald Ryan, though, is a renowned trainer for getting these horses pretty fit and ready to go. He's a colt he's a 4-year-old horse with a big reputation, so I imagine they'd be pretty keen to win everything that he can test. But I think he's very vulnerable here, getting 8 kilos to a horse like Cedric Quebec, who we know a great deal about already. He did mix it with this crop as a 3-year-old, and he's already had the run under the belt, 53 kilos, and he was very good there behind Lorraine. So if there is a horse to cause a little bit of upset, I know he is hard in the market, but as far as causing upset to the more well-known horses, your Trapeze Artists and your D'Argentos, I think he might be the one there just catching them on the hop.
You speak about discrepancy in weight. Let's go to race number 3. Don't Give a Damn under 64 kilos at the weight, at the price of $2.90. Can we back it?
Oh, it's a big ask, isn't it? My best of the day is in this race, and I'm going to be betting around because Don't Give a Damn. I'm going to go with number 5, so race 3, number 5, Renewal to turn the tables. Ran 3rd to Don't Give a Damn last start, but has a big weight swing here, 3 kilos. And also missed the start there last time and ran home in some really good splits. So I'm hoping they can posse up a bit closer from the good draw and not give him such a big sight. It's actually been 18 years since the horse has carried 64 kilos in town in Sydney to win. So the big imposter 64, isn't it?
What about your suggested today? I see there's an ex-Kiwi galloper by the name of Eagle Bay you're going to suggest we have a bit of a go at.
Yeah, there's a couple of extra ones. We'll wait until the last for one of those. And as you touched on, that's Eagle Bay. Also, he's ticking over pretty well for Chris Waller at the moment. He's had 2 runs on the belt, 1,800 metres, looks perfect. And as you well know, he doesn't mind the sting out of the track. So this race sets up particularly well for him. If you are playing multiples or your quaddies, I'd certainly throw the emergency into your mix too. That's number 18, Excelsior. A couple of scratchings this morning, and it's another horse that'll love the cut out of the ground. As far as other bets, I think we can back Bjorn Baker's mare with a bit of confidence there. Champagne Cuddles. That's race 7, number 6. She's really classy, and she has some form around some proper grip on animals. Your Laura Mains, your Impendings, and Santa Lane. So I expect her to resume a winner also.
Brad, looking forward to the racing coming in today from Rosehill. You enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, Matt. Good luck to the punters there having a play.